I'm finally, I think, finished at a good finishing spot with the floor. There's still some edge trim pieces I still need to do, but we'll get around to that. Anyway, give a quick little video tour of the floor, but I thought I'd take a quick moment before the floor. To get to the floor, I have to go through the house. So this way we can actually see a little bit of the house and how it's been coming along over the years since there's been so few updates on the rest of the house. Anyway, let's go on in. There'll still be a little bit of project clutter from my bedroom is still empty, so all my bedroom parts are elsewhere in the house. But pile of pears that I picked the other day, a bushel or two, probably going to juice them in a couple days. Some Nissan parts I need to take off. Anyway, as we walk into the kitchen, pantry is over here to the left. Little oven in the wall, an island with a stovetop and a bunch of drawers and cabinets and things. Just the rest of the kitchen, clean dishes, yay. And one day I'll get around to putting on these concrete countertops that I want to replace all this temporary stuff. Anyway, wood stove over here, table, a bed in the living room, that's cool. Bifold door for the closet door for the bedroom. Anyway, here comes the bedroom. This is, of course, you know, this room's been done for a little while. Guitar stuff, some bedroom stuff are still in here. Bathroom to the left. We've got videos on that already. And here's the floor. Empty room. Ready to move back in. Probably do that tomorrow. Give it a good day. So I did my last coat of poly this morning. And that way it'll give the poly about a full 24 hours or so to really cure up hard, and so that objects like a bed placed on there should be good. Nice I'm real happy with the transitions that I did from room to room, because I only did one room at a time, so then I had to kind of, the next room I did, I needed to put a transition that made it sort of pretty smooth, and it worked out really well, so I'm happy about that. Anyway. Part of my bed frame is out here. My futon outdoor bed, my summer bed. All right, well that's the floor. Next we have a few shots of what the room looks like with furniture in place. So all the stuff's in it now. Some of the idea behind this circular design that I did was so that we could, once we have a bed in place, we'll have a pathway up to either side of the bed, no matter whether we put it in front of the window, in the corner, or on the other wall. Path will go up to both sides, no matter where the bed is. So it looked a little busy to begin with, but by the time it's all there with the bed in place, I'm actually happy with that. Unexpectedly, this house is turning into a cedar home. Didn't know I wasn't planning to put that much cedar in the place. Now for the closet, not too much furniture here, but you know, shoe rack, a little stool, maybe a clothes hamper. Anyway, happy to have this all done. Yay! Alright, next is how we got from the old floor to the new floor. Some plastic, some subflooring, eventually some the cedar discs, we start putting them in places. Big ones first, filling in with the little ones. Eventually gluing them all in place. Followed by starting the cedar strips, custom cutting the edges of every single one of them. That was a bit arduous. And then once we get all them in place, then we fill all those gaps with sawdust. Now as to the custom cutting, I took the intended plank, took some cardboard and made a copy of the plank, put the cardboard in place, took the little rubber mallet and bang, 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 bang on all the edges, got some impressions, drew a line, a little bit of margin, started cutting the sections out, made sure the cardboard fit well, took the board, marked the cutouts, took the jigsaw, cut it out, and there I am. Stick it in place and voila. Now we're ready for the sawdust. Got the spaces. We filled it full of diluted white school glue, pretty cheap stuff. Stuff it in there, use a chopstick and kind of cram it all in all the nooks and crannies. Start sweeping it up, do that several times, and then we're now ready for epoxy. And it's epoxy resin time now. Take a specific amount of hardener, a specific amount of resin, and then I begin to mix it. Mix, 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 and it'll get cloudy. Mix, mix, mix some more, and it'll clear up. Eventually, I'll pour it into a condiment bottle, what I can use to easily squirt it onto all the sawdust. The sawdust really soaked up that first layer, and I even came back, put a second layer in, and it still soaked up a fair amount of that, but we started finally getting it to where it was reaching the level of the discs. And then the third level, you can't really see it in this picture, but sometimes it's a little higher than the discs and sometimes a little lower. The discs themselves are a little slightly different heights. So then I need to come back and sand, which is next. All right, after the filling the gaps with cedar sawdust, we also filled it with epoxy resin. And once all that was in place, you know, nothing is pretty rough as far as heights and stuff like that. So I need to come by and sand all the surfaces, all the cedar discs. They varied in heights as well. So try to get everything kind of levelish and smoothish. And didn't make it look like a machine had done it. So I kind of want to keep some artisan type feel to it, which is what I'm after. So ready for the next steps once I clean up. And now it's all cleaned up and mopped. Still wet, so makes it look better at the moment. But once it dries up, all the sanding marks are going to show up, and all that will go away once we put poly on it. The floor is dry and it's been sanded, and so it's all scuffed up, and you can see all the scratches, and there's some spots that are a little lower that are still clear. But the poly will cover all that stuff up and make it clear again. Anyway, we're ready to put some coats on. Probably put several layers on. My first layer, I'm just going to roller it on, the bulk of it. I'll let that dry and then take a paintbrush and cut in the edges after that. And then maybe put 3 or 4 coats of poly on total. But let's see what the process looks like. I've, maybe you probably saw this already. Just a roller, stick roller, kind of quick, easy way. Polyurethane, big 5-gallon bucket. Anyway, here it goes. Alright, I'm done. It's all wet. And that's one coat. And what you'll start to see is that the dry wood will soak up that poly. That's another reason why we need multiple coats. Anyway, I'll come back in about an hour or so. Should be kind of dryish, enough to walk on and do some more. Anyway, this is how it all got put together.